Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the F1 23 My Team Career Mode journey for Cross GT Racing. Back into regular uploads. I know that a while ago I wasn't uploading much, things got pretty busy, I guess in the real world, but now we're back into it. The last video that I put up was our Grand Prix in Austria. I think that was round 7, I think. And we'd just come off a big win, well, not a big win, sorry, a really good finish in the Canadian Grand Prix. We had a P3 finish. We started in pole, got onto the podium in the race, and came with a whole bunch of points. Really hard fought race here in Austria. We started P6 and we managed to work our way up through the grid. Big last couple of laps. Big battle between ourselves and Oscar Piastri, and even Verstappen getting in there as well, who started in P19 and ended up stealing P3 from us halfway through the last lap. So we came away with a P4 finish, a nice overtake there on Alonso, turn 1 being our favourite overtaking spot in this race. Mercedes ran away with the race. Leclerc was with them, the Ferrari was sticking with them. The top 3 were all just pulling away throughout the race, and unfortunately for him, engine failure was his undoing. Mercedes finishing 1 and 2, George Russell taking the win this time around, Hamilton finishing P2. Bit of contact there with Piastri, and then we went 3 wide here at this corner. Verstappen getting right up there in the mix. Big battle there between the 3 of us at the end, but still P4 finish. We were hoping for another podium, another 3rd place finish, but couldn't quite put the performance together there at the end. But that's okay. Into the facilities we go. Quick turnaround for this one, so not a whole lot of time for us to get things done before the next race. We've got a marketing department event to deal with. 50k for 750 team acclaim seems like a pretty pretty easy decision to make. 50k is not that much. Had to also renew our contracts with our sponsors. We're going to be changing all of our engine components for this one. We've already had 1 engine part fail so far this season. Might as well change everything heading into this race. Round 8, I do believe. Silverstone, one of the probably, I suppose, fan favourite races. One of my favourite races. We've done really well here. The practice programs all passed pretty well. Plenty of boosts coming through, plenty of resource points, and this potentially will be Enzo Fittipaldi's last race with us. He hasn't done very well this season, but in all fairness, I wasn't expecting much from him. Rookie drivers don't do great at the start of the game. The car's not amazing. I mean, it's definitely a lot better than I thought it would be, mainly just because of the fact that we focused on chassis department upgrades first with the very start of the game, so we had sort of a boost in chassis. And then we also picked the Ferrari engine, which is the fastest engine at the start of the game, so we've kind of fast-tracked our way through to the midfield, and we've had some good results. Fittipaldi not so much. We'll probably be looking for a new driver for the second half of the season, and it's not so much performance wise, it's more cost wise. Enzo's now worth like $1.5 million. We can get a driver for $1 million less, for $500,000. So, and we want as much money as possible going towards upgrading the facilities. So that's where my head is at the moment. Q1 finished. We are currently sitting P16, coming up to the line, and we are 9 tenths off the pace, or 2nd off the pace, and we have a big slide heading into the final chicane. So this lap is not going to improve, or help us improve, So we have to hope that no one else improves. And at this point, it still says P16. And we do manage to hold out. We managed to finish just ahead of Magnussen. 1.5 tenths Fittipaldi right down the bottom in P22. So not a great performance for him in what is potentially his last race. But you know, we couldn't really expect him to get out of Q3. He's only done it once this season, and that was only because of the rain. I think he's only done it once this season, and that was only because of the rain during Q1 in the last round. So we're in Q2 now, and just sort of getting not getting the hang of the track. We've already kind of got the hang of the track where the apexes are. Now it's more about trying to see how far we can push. Trying to see if I can just get a little bit more speed around some of these corners, see if I can accelerate a little bit earlier. You know, just trying to tweak the performance now. I mean, Q1 wasn't the greatest lap that we did. This last sector is where we lose a lot of our time. I'm probably a little too cautious around that corner there. In the chicane, even during practice, the back end was kind of kicking out a little bit. So just have to sort of tweak sort of where we're accelerating there. We come around the final corner, across the line, and we are P11 at this point. Not where we want to be. We still want to get out of Q2 and into Q3. Qualifying complete. So now we're in it's do or die now. We're sudden death for us. We need to make sure this lap is a really big improvement on the last one. Especially considering Albon, our current rival, is sitting in P10 ahead of us right now. So we need to make sure we finish ahead of him so that we can definitely cement our win in the rivalry over him. We're 5 points ahead of him, so we need to make sure we can get at least, you know, get at least an extra point ahead of him. We come around the corner, we're up 8 tenths across the line, and it's good enough for P6. So as long as no one else improves too much, we are through to Q3, and we knock Alexander Albon out. P11 for him. We are only like half a tenth behind Verstappen, and of course, no surprises, the two Mercedes, P1 and P2, Leclerc I think it was in P3, so those three definitely ones to watch at this stage. I mean, the Mercedes team have been ones to watch all season, but Leclerc's hanging with them, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here in Q3. We're sitting P6, or we were sitting P6, we're now P10, just because we haven't put through a time yet. But I'm feeling really comfortable here in Silverstone at the moment, really pushing the car. I feel like we could have a pretty good performance here today if we can just maintain this sort of pace, or sort of, I guess, this level of consistency through the lap. Onto the long DRS straight. Sector 3 is usually where we're losing the time. Sector 1 and 2 are pretty close to the AI. Sector 3 is where we lose it. But a pretty good run through there around the final corner, and it's good enough for P7 at this point. A 129 flat, and that stands. We are P7 for the race. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, only 4 thousandths of a second separating the two of them, and then it's another 4 thousandths between Hamilton and Leclerc, so 8 thousandths separating P1 from P3. What a performance from those three. Mercedes locking out the front row, both British drivers on the front of the grid for the British Grand Prix.
You join us in the United Kingdom today, or Great Britain as it's alternatively known. Well, it's certainly a great day today as we welcome you to one of the crown jewels of British sports, a track of speed, history and drama. It's Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Norris, the captain, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Gasly, Joe, Bottas, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Tsunoda, Sargent, De Vries, Enzo Fittipaldi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And with me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about the captain. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
That's my thoughts exactly. We want to make sure we can keep getting more points to add to our tally. We're doing quite well this season. We're sitting P6 in the Constructors. That's the main one. The Drivers one is great, but we want to get as high up the Constructors as we can so we can get as much money at the end of the season to give us a really good boost heading into next season. We're going to be going hards to mediums for this one. I was looking at the soft to hard strategy. 5 red lights and we are off and away, and that is an amazing start from us. We've already claimed 2 positions. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Verstappen, which slowed us down. We've managed to jump Norris and Sainz off the start, and we're now sitting in P5 right off the bat. Doesn't look like there was any damage. It was only slight contact with Verstappen. I was contemplating moving off the track a little bit, but I didn't want to go onto the grass and lose the car. One wheel onto the grass, probably not so bad, but I thought maybe Verstappen would move across and so we would be able to just slide in alongside. But that's okay, no damage to the car. We've managed to claim 2 positions there. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it was just a really good start from us or something happened to Sainz or Norris, but we'll take it. P5 for us now in the British Grand Prix. We've got 18 laps of this historic track to run, and hopefully we can get some more points to add to our constructors points tally. Heading down the long DRS straight. DRS not activated as yet. Sainz goes around the outside. We've got Norris looking to make a move as well. Sainz claims a position back, and we're now back in P6. A little bit deep into the chicane, bit of a slide. Although I think that probably did slow down Norris a little bit, as we would have had to throw him off his line there. So we've lost a lot of time now to Sainz thanks to that slide there. We're on cold hards, but then most of the grid by the looks of things are on the same strategy. Stroll back in, we're back in P9 now on the softs. As we take a look at the start, so Sainz just had a slow start, and I think Norris had a slow start as well, but he would have also been sort of held up a little bit by Sainz, and we just ended up claiming those 2 spots. It could have been 3 had we not clipped the back left wheel of Verstappen, but we will take the positions we can get. So we're currently P6, following along behind Sainz. DRS not activated yet. We are out of DRS range to Sainz, but Norris is also out of DRS range to us. So no one really gaining anything there. We have managed to get back to within a second of Sainz, but this Sector 3's been our downfall through practice and qualifying, so hopefully we can tidy that sector up early on this race and start making some ground on these guys, because we're sitting within range of Sainz. We're not losing huge amounts of time, I say, as we've just lost like 3 tenths to him. but we can claw some of that back, you know, during the first couple of sectors, and we're pulling back some of that time now, so we do have some good pace down these shorter straights, able to accelerate a little bit earlier and get up to speed a little bit faster. But it's the long straight at the end that that's really getting us, where these other top ranked cars are catching up to us or pulling away from us. So it's that sustained top speed that we don't really have at this point, which could all come down to probably our lack of major aero upgrades. Our power unit is the best in, as we go a bit wide and we slide there heading into the DRS straight. We do have DRS, but now we've just opened the door for Norris, who was closing in on us pretty quick, so we've had to use our battery to try and stay ahead. We managed to hold on there, thankfully, but we've lost a lot of time to signs now. As I was saying, our power unit is the best on paper. Yeah, on paper for these, it's power unit's the best, but I think our aero is probably the worst. So we've got all this power, but no way to really convert that efficiently to a higher top speed and you know, probably better acceleration. The chassis is really light. The chassis is good. We've got really good chassis upgrades, but you know, the aero will definitely help us when it comes to, like, you know, things like this straight here. As Norris is making a move on us, he's got that DRS. Perez closing in behind him. We go wide. Open up the door for Perez. He goes past. We've got Alonso behind him. Now we've got a bit of a battle happening here at the end of lap 4. We go to the inside of Perez. We get past. We throw him off his line. Alonso sneaks through as well. And what a battle that was between these four, or between the three and myself. Norris, the big winner there, ends up jumping ahead a place. He's in P5. We're back in P7. Alonso jumps to P8 and Perez stays back in P9. So we haven't lost the place here by the looks of things. Oh no, we have lost the place, sorry. We were in P6. We've only lost one position. We did lose 2. Perez managed to catch up to us, but we managed to sneak back. And Alonso just breezes past us there. Perez is right behind us. The battle is still raging on here. But not only that, but Stroll is also up in the top 10. So the Aston Martins making their presence known this season. So we go a little bit off the track there, pushing probably a little bit too hard to try and catch up to Alonso. We go off the track, a little bit of a slide. And now we're on the back foot as Perez goes to the inside, Stroll to the outside with 3 wide. As we head down to the right hander, we duck to the inside. Side by side with Perez, we managed to hold on and get back up into position. So a little bit of jostling there, a little bit of back and forward, but we managed to hold on to P7, or P8 I think it is now that Alonso's in front of us. Yeah, P8. Stroll even got in the mix there. So no change now in terms of the positions, but it did get a little bit dicey there for a second. That little move, you know, cutting back on the inside of Perez to get around the inside of that right-hander. You know, pretty good and pretty quick thinking there to try and do that. Lap 7 now. Perez right behind us. He's looking to make a move. We go around the left-hander and he's been clipped. We've been clipped by Perez and he won't stop driving. He just keeps pushing and we've been spun out. I don't know. I mean, we gave him some space, but I don't know if he was really in a position to make that move. Here's the replay. So we went wide around the first corner. Perez looks to go up the inside. Bit indecision. He was nowhere near close enough to make that move. His front wing alongside our back wheel there, like it was, I mean, when the contact happened, we were wheel to wheel, but then the problem after that is that he just kept pushing and spun us around and I got caught on his front wing and I couldn't move. And so now because of that, we were doing so well, and now we've been dropped all the way back down to P20. So now we're at the back. Perez is now at the back. He's P22. We're ahead of our teammate Fittipaldi, who's on soft, so in theory he should be able to, like, you know, he should be going faster than me still. It's lap 7, he should still have that tyre advantage over us. And the only reason he's catching up right now is because of the mistake I made driving over the curving back at the coming around the start-finish line, but we're still pulling away even here. In the DRS straight, he's not gaining much time on us with the DRS, and he's 2 tyre compounds better than we are. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but we've kind of been rattled now by that little spin from Perez, as we can't, consistency's all gone now. So we're going to have to keep pushing. The pit window, as you saw earlier, is open. It just becomes a question of, do we duck into the pits as Perez goes up the inside? We're side by side through the S's. And he manages to, he ducks back in behind. He's going to have DRS here. So we're going to have to try and defend here. We're using our battery to try and stay ahead, which we're doing pretty well. We're actually pulling away from him now. So that worked out pretty well, but we are 4 seconds behind De Vries, and we're going to come into the pits right now and go on to some new tyres. I'm pretty sure we were going on to the mediums. I think it was. So head into the pits, go into the medium tyre, a bit more speed, a bit more confident on that tyre. And we've just had a problem. The front right tyre, they had problems getting it off. So not only have we dropped so many positions because Perez spun us out, we've now had a really short pit stop, a 4.6 second stop, because they were having issues getting that back right tyre off. And so now we're actually back in P22 on medium compound tyres. Perez looked like he opted to stay out. So he, in theory, will probably be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. As you take a look, the front runner, I think it's George Russell. No, that's Hamilton, I think, coming into the pits. And just as we zoom back out, there's now a yellow flag on that DRS straight, and it looks like one of the Alfa Romeos, I think. Because we go off the tracks, we're too busy looking at the map. There's someone going slow, and it's Zhou Guan Yu is out of this race for whatever reason. As we take a look and see what happened, he comes around the corner onto the DRS straight, hits the DRS, and there's the engine failure right there. So that's his race over. Unfortunate for him, but necessary for us as we're sitting all the way at the back. We've managed to jump up 1 position. We're in P21 now, and it looks like everyone else is coming to the pits. Hopefully we can gain some positions here. We gain 1, and it's over our own teammate. So not really looking too good for us right now. We are sitting behind Perez, who is on slightly better tyres than we are. I think his tyres are probably one lap better than ours, so slight advantage to him on the mediums. But if we can get back within range, we'll be able to get the DRS and get him to pull us along. Here are the 2 Mercedes who are just pulling away. George Russell's got the DRS, goes for the overtake, and they've made contact. And there's part of someone's car there. I'm not sure what happened there, but whatever it is, and it looks like it's Hamilton's car that's damaged. Now Hamilton's having to make it into the pits. Let's take a look. George Russell goes to the inside. Hamilton gives him the space, and there must have been a lockup or something, because George Russell just went straight on. If we take a look from the front here, Hamilton gives him the space, moves in, and Russell just goes straight on, turns towards him, and the front side panel of Hamilton's front wing is gone. It just completely sheared off, and he's now have to go into the pits. So Mercedes won't be happy with that. I have to say that George Russell is the one to blame for that one there. Went for the overtake late on the straight. Hamilton did give him the space, and he just it looks like it was a potential lockup, and just went straight on. And now he's caused Hamilton to fall all the way back to P20. We've overtaken him as he's been coming out of the pit lane. So our championship leader is now at the back of the grid. There's only 7 laps left on this race. We're now battling with De Vries, which I haven't had to say so far this season. We're at the midpoint now, and we're battling with an AlphaTauri And it's the AlphaTauri of De Vries too, who hasn't been performing well this season. We managed to get past him relatively easily, but he's going to have DRS for the next straight. And we're missing our apexes through the S's a little bit here, so it's just keeping him within reach of us. We've lost about 1.5 seconds to Perez over the last few laps, so not looking good for us. De Vries goes through, Hamilton comes breezing past. He's looking to make up some ground and try and get back up into the points. Managed to get past both myself and De Vries. He's now up into P18. And a little bit of a slide there from us again through that chicane, which is still an issue for us. Lewis Hamilton, a 1:30.56 with the fastest lap of the race so far. Really putting his foot down to try and catch up. But we're struggling back here. Confidence is shattered now thanks to Perez. We go around the inside of De Vries. He sort of second guesses himself and moves out of the way. It looks like we spooked him a little bit. We've taken that position from him, and it slowed him down so much we've actually got out of DRS range of him already. We're more than a second ahead of him, and now it's time for us to try and catch up to Hamilton, which is a pretty tall order. But hopefully we can get him to pull us along if we're lucky. But he is pulling away through the S's. It was 1.7 seconds the gap heading into that, and there was 1.9 heading out. And by the next lap, he's gained another second on us. So it's not looking great for us. We are 3.5 seconds ahead of De Vries. We're breezing, away from him. Fittipaldi, on the other hand, is almost 10 seconds behind us now. And lap after lap, we're not making any ground here. Hamilton has now jumped ahead of Sargent. I mean, we've gained ground on Sargent. We've gained about a second on him. We've lost another second to Hamilton. We're just, without anyone around us, with no slipstream or DRS, we are struggling to keep up. And what should have been a really good really good performance from us, and what could have been a really great battle, sort of in that top 10, and extra points and stuff, has turned into a weekend to forget. To be honest, we've gained some more time on Sargent, but not enough to be a worry to him at all. 2 laps left in this race. We're 4 seconds ahead of De Vries, 11 seconds ahead of Fittipaldi. He's got no pace. But here's the real battle. P2, the battle for P2 between Verstappen and Leclerc. They've been sort of sitting, they've been pulling away together for quite a while now, and now they're getting into it. Second to last lap, Verstappen has taken P2 from Leclerc. Leclerc's now got 1 lap to try and fight back. Verstappen just has to hold on for the rest of this lap. And then you've got George Russell, who is miles ahead of everyone else, running his own race. Probably wouldn't have been so lonely up there if he hadn't collided with his teammate Lewis Hamilton. And he takes the win easily. But it's the battle for P2 that we're really watching here. Verstappen and Leclerc still battling. DRS straight, Verstappen ahead. Leclerc's got DRS. He moves, tries to make the same move Verstappen did to him on the last lap. He gets around the outside. Nice and clean. Verstappen tucked in right behind him. All Leclerc's got to do is get through a couple more corners. He holds on through the chicane. Final corner. And he manages to steal back, almost in the exact same fashion, P2 from Verstappen, the way that he took it from him a lap earlier. Lewis Hamilton crosses the line. Another fastest lap for him. I'm not sure if he's in the points though. We come around the final corner, and it's a disappointing P19 for us here at the British Grand Prix. Our worst finishing position this season, other than the DNF that we had earlier. So a weekend to forget for us.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners.
So there is the podium for the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. George Russell, hometown hero, taking P1. Mercedes getting, I suppose, well, not quite maximum points, but they've gotten the 25 from the win. No fastest lap. Lewis Hamilton took that, but after that collision with his teammate, he is out of the points. He did manage to fight his way back to P14. Sergio Perez managing to fight back to P13 after the collision he had with us. We, on the other hand, relegated all the way back to P19. Fittipaldi, P21. He finished 8 seconds behind Nick de Vries. So not a good performance for him. Not the way I'm sure he wanted to end his time with our team, but looks like we're definitely going to be getting a new driver for the rest of the season. As we take a look at the driver standings, George Russell now jumps ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So does Max Verstappen, actually. Verstappen now 8 points ahead of Hamilton. George Russell in the lead, 144 points to him, 12 points separating P1 from P3. We are sitting in P9 still. Constructors' Championship, Mercedes still got that pretty safe in hand at this point. 77 points the gap halfway through the season to Red Bull, and then another 38 points to Ferrari. So the top three separated by quite a big margin. We are sitting P6 in the Constructors, well ahead of Alpine. I'm not too worried about them catching up to us, but we are only 4 points behind Aston Martin, so we could end up taking their position, getting some extra money at the end of the season. But it's going to be a tough next half of the season. No money from the sponsors this time around. Not a good performance from the team. Definitely one to forget this weekend. So there we have it. There is the that is the end of this race weekend here in Silverstone. Not how I thought it was going to turn out at all. I really thought we were going to be in with a chance of getting another really good result after the last two races, a P3 in Canada and a P4 in Austria. I thought we could maybe replicate the same thing here in Silverstone, but not meant to be. So we'll just take what we can from this race, learn from the mistake, and move forward. We will be replacing Enzo in the next episode. We'll be getting a brand new driver into the team. We'll have to take a look through the driver market and just see who we want to bring in. It's going to be another rookie, because I want to focus on making sure we can capitalize on the money we're making and improving the facilities as much as we can. So I'm not expecting huge things from them for the rest of the season. It's more just a cost thing, but you never know, we might have someone that comes along and surprises us. So we'll have to wait and see who we're going to pick. That'll be in the next episode. I'll take a look and see who I want to join our team. If you did enjoy this episode, leave a like, let me know in the comments what you thought. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and hopefully we have a better result in the next one.